The police's Operation Shanela is in Sandton this morning. The campaign has resulted in the arrest of over 90,000 suspects for various crimes. eNCA's Bafedile Moerane is with police and joins us live now to give us this update. Bafedile, very warm good morning. I can see that it's quite a busy morning with Operation Shanela well underway. How's it looking? What have the members of the SAPS found so far?
Well, it's a hive of activities here in the streets of Sandton, Tumelo. We're seeing men in blue on the ground having to enforce law. But at this point in time, we have seen a smooth operation. No one has actually been arrested, if I could say to you. But you know what? Let me engage the police commissioner here in Gauteng. But basically to talk about the issues at this point in time, in particular because of stage 6 load shedding. We understand, we spoke a lot yesterday with South Africans who are really crying foul, having to say that this stage 6 load shedding, it is compromising their safety, in particular in townships and also along the traffic congestions. Mr. Elias Mawela, thank you so much for joining us here at eNCA. Before we get into this matter of the operation today, I want us to touch on the issues of stage 6 load shedding. People are crying foul on the ground, having to say that the crime seems to be growing at this point in time because now criminals are seeing that there's no electricity at this point. What are the plans from your side as the police to ensure more boots on the ground and safety to our people?
Yeah, you know, load shedding is not a new thing for us. I think by now, as the law enforcement agencies, we have adapted our plans, so that we move along with all the challenges and all the risk associated with the type of work which you are doing, of which load shedding may be one of those risks. And we know that it impacts people in different ways, but we'll forever remain on the ground. Whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's load shedding, whether it's shining, will forever be there. Criminals, they also adapt their method of doing things, but we are more than ready for them. We want to call upon the citizens of this province that they must also remain vigilant, ensure that their batteries are charged for the security apparatus, the alarm systems, their CCTV cameras and so forth. Let them remain vigilant. The neighborhood watch teams, let them also be vigilant, and we mustn't take anything for granted.
You're talking about the neighborhood watch. Are there any private securities that you're working with currently in the province? Yeah,
definitely. You know, the South African Police Service have entered into the memorandum of agreement with Business Against Crime South Africa, whereby we have established a project called the E2, Eyes and Ears of the Police. And the Business Against Crime South Africa have mobilized all the private securities, those who subscribe to a certain code of conduct to work with the police and so forth. So we are working side by side with them. We also make use of some of the modern technology to can fight crime in this province.
Yes, you're indicating that load shedding is not a new thing, but at this point, haven't you got any rising numbers in specific areas, any hotspots where criminals are targeting our residents?
Yeah, you see, crime is seasonal. Now we are in this season, what do you call it, the spring. So during the spring, we expect that crime, it picks up because of it is warm and nice, and people, they go about, they go to parties, they spend a lot of time out. That's why now the criminals, they also observe the movement of the people and so forth, and they take advantage over that. So if there is any crime which is rising now, it may be because of the season where we are, because it makes people can be more outside, enjoying themselves and so forth.
Now let's talk about the Operation Shanela. You are on the ground. We see you in Sandton. Why Sandton today? What is it that you have realized in Sandton?
Yeah, Sandton, we also have some challenges here, especially the white-collar crime. We have a high rate of robbery aggravating, obviously because of it's an economic hub. The business robberies, whereby they target some of the shops here in the malls and so forth, house robberies in those high halls, they do experience crime. Make no mistake about it. So theft out of motor vehicles, it's happening a lot. The carjackings is also happening a lot here. And people, they don't know that in Sandton we also have 2 informal settlements. The Ginger Park and Hove. It's one of the informal settlements whereby you find there's no services there, you know, and gender-based violence in that particular area is very high. Assault GPH is also very high. So you must forever, time and again, come and assert the authority of the state here in Sandton.
Just in short, Commissioner, any arrest here and what are the stats in relation to Operation Shanela?
Yeah, we have done very well. As a norm in the province, our first phase is where the detectives, they go and look for the wanted and known suspect. They've arrested 971 of those, and of which 263 are arrested for gender-based violence-related cases. But for this today, second phase, we have done very well. We have arrested 47 undocumented persons. One individual who's on the wheelchair was also arrested for possession of illegal firearm. One for drugs, and one Kumbi here in this roadblock. It was found, it was involved in a hit and run some time ago, but with our systems we have picked it up because there is a warrant for that particular Kumbi. So the driver and the Kumbi, they are here with us now.
Well, thank you so much, Provincial Commissioner in Gauteng, Mr. Elias Mawela, having to actually sum up and summarize matters in relation to Operation Shanela in Gauteng here, and he's saying that he's very much confident that they are very much ready on the streets. There are more boots on the streets to ensure that there is safety and in our people, having to reflect that people are complaining, having to say that because of stage 6 load shedding, it seems like security and safety is really compromised along the streets and also at their households. But he is saying, as the Provincial Commissioner there, that they are ready and they are on the ground to ensure that they protect South Africans.
It seems, Bafedile, that from the Provincial Commissioner, Elias Mawela, perpetrators have nowhere to hide today. They're coming out in full force to ensure that they tackle all crimes that they may be implicated in and have maybe ignored in the past. Now it's time to deal with those perpetrators, according to the Provincial Commissioner, and get them out of the streets of South Africa. We'll keep tuned to you, colleague, as soon as there are other developments. Bafedile Moerane on the ground with members of SAPS. This, of course, as they continue to conduct operational Shanela. And you would have heard even just yesterday during my conversation with Bafedile about how motorists are lamenting concerns around crime and how it has increased but further exacerbated by load shedding. We'll keep in touch with my colleague, that's Bafedile Moerane.